So we're going to be moving to EPL. Tomorrow afternoon, Aston Villa will face Chelsea. Now, Aston Villa they drew against Nottingham Forest on Monday night, 1-1. They are 16th on the table with 9 points from 9 games. Kamara is out, Lucadini is out, Diego Carlos is out, and they face on Sunday rather. They face Chelsea, who are in form with 4 wins from 5 games, 3 clean sheets in the last 3 games. Chelsea, they are 4th on the table currently, with a game in hand. What do you think? What do you think about the game and what it means for Gerard?
Okay, so I feel the game is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer for Chelsea. Chelsea is going to win the game. The only thing that would actually save Gerard from not being sacked is if he actually gets a win. A draw won't help him either, because his team is actually playing
stacked.
Yeah, what is it?
As in the team is
stacked with players to actually be in the first 10 or in the Premier League table now, but the guys are not delivering. Watkins should be on the bench. I don't know why he's still playing that guy. And he has been making some decisions that are not helping him. He needs to actually correct himself, bring himself to order. But Chelsea is going to win the game, and I'm sure they will sack Gerrard by the end of the weekend.
All right. How would you rate Graham Potter's performance so far and going to the future? They face Brentford in the midweek. Brentford, they are 11th on the table. Brentford, they've been on a bad run of games. They are winless in 3 games. And Brentford will play Brighton on Friday night this evening. But judging from the fixtures for Graham Potter and the caliber of opponents he has faced and will face, what do you think?
I think he has faced opponents that are that suits him the way he was playing in Brighton, because he has been playing teams that are open, that will attack him. I think the real test will be when he comes up against teams that will try and just defend and just sit back and wait to hit them on the counter, because that will be very, very new to him, because he's used to playing teams that are open, that won't just come to defend alone, sit back alone. So, but overall, he has been doing well, and the team is playing well, and they are. For a change, they are playing good football.
What do you think the next 2 games? Do you see them getting 6 points?
I see them winning against Aston Villa. And who are they meeting next? Brentford. They should be able to. Yeah, I'll back them to get 6 points.
All right, let's move on. Spurs face Everton on Saturday evening. I think that's the last game on Saturday evening. Spurs, they are 3rd on the table with 20 points. They've not really been impressive, but they've been grinding out wins. They've only lost 1 league game, which was against Arsenal. They won in Champions League against Frankfurt on Tuesday, or was it Wednesday? They face Everton, who, they have a very good defensive record this season. They only have 1 win from all the games they've played, but they've not conceded much.
They have 2 wins.
They have 2 wins rather. They've not conceded much, and they lost against Man U, last weekend on Sunday. Everton, they are currently 12th on the table, or 12th on the table, yeah. So what do you think about the game, Toby?
So I feel Everton is actually a very, very defensive side, which is something that we can't associate with Lampard on a normal day, but the man has to do what he has to do. So I still feel Everton is going to get a result from that match. They will surely get a result.
Which is why, in a way, I always felt Gerrard was a better coach than Lampard, but it seems like Lampard has become more adaptable than Gerrard.
Exactly.
Because now at least when you're talking about Everton, you can their defensive side. When you're talking about Aston Villa, you can't really put them in any bracket.
It's chaotic. Aston Villa is chaotic. Or like Lampard, that you will see with the type of players, for him to bring in Onana, Gueye, and Iwobi is the one playing as the man in the hole, the 10, yeah. So you know that he actually prioritizes the defensive side of the game first. Then later he would start over time with the defensive solidity. They will actually start getting goals at the other side.
So J-Boy, what do you think about the result? Do you see Spurs winning?
Spurs are also in a bad way right now, because they've been getting the results, but they have not been convincing. And against this Everton team, I think you have to at least be a little bit convincing to get the results.
They're not a walkover anymore.
They are no more Everton that you come come up against and you expect to score at least 3 goals. Now they are more resolute defensively, and I think that's the result of him dropping Michael Keane and who was he using them?
Yeremina.
Yeah, Yeremina, bringing in Tarkowski and Cody and Connor Cody, 2 leaders, 2 battle-hardened players coming from teams that are defensively resolute, and that's shown in this Everton side. So I won't back Tottenham to just come in and just like walk off the pitch with the 3 points, but it's going to be very difficult. I'll say a draw most likely.
All right, let's talk about the games on Sunday, because Sunday is packed. Liverpool face City on Sunday. Liverpool, in the last meeting against City, they won 3-1 Community Shield. Liverpool have drawn the last 2 league games at home. Yeah, so Liverpool are winless against City in the league since 2019. That's I mean, they've won City in other in League Cup games, but in the league they've not gotten a win since 2019. And I think mostly that's draws. Something. Yeah, it's mostly draws for Liverpool. Yeah. Then most of the games City have won is at Anfield. Yes. Yes.
So they've won twice.
They've won at Anfield. They've won one at Anfield, drawn one at Anfield. Mm-hmm. But their wins are like more at Anfield than at Etihad, which is quite surprising. So like the last 2 games Liverpool lost against Man City, they've conceded 4 goals.
Which is possible this week.
Which might be looking possible this league, since 2020. So talking about City are second on the table with 23 points. Liverpool, they are 10th on the table with 10 points. Diaz and Trent, they're out, but Robertson should be back.
Matip.
Yeah, Matip is still a late fitness kind of thing. But Liverpool, Man City have Calvin Phillips still out. I don't understand why they signed Calvin Phillips in the first place, but he has to do what he has to do. Stones too is out. Kai Walker is out. So J-Boy, what do you think from City's perspective now? What do you think about the game?
It's going to be very, very hard for Liverpool to get anything out of this based on form. I don't think it's, but then again, this is Liverpool, Man City. This is the rivalry of the past 5 years. This is the Premier League top 2. Maybe not anymore. Maybe not this season. But Liverpool at Anfield, they should at least be inspired to at least play for a win, not even a draw. They should try their best to get something out of this game. Because in the Community Shield, I think they held their own. They played a draw, and
they won 3-1.
Oh, that's right. They won. So that should even inspire them to try and get something from this. They have to get their season going, and any delay will be.
Toby, coming from a Liverpool's fan perspective, state your team's claim.
See, personally, the only thing that can make us have a chance in this match is if we start the match very well. We have been conceding the first goal in the match for the past, 13 or 14 games now, especially at home. Or the past 9 games at home now, we have been conceding first. I don't want to say in all competitions. So if we can start the game very well, I feel we have a chance and we get the goal first. But the way City is playing, City is still the team to beat. No matter how good Arsenal is playing, they are still the team to beat. And if Liverpool can actually get at least a draw against Man City, then I'm sure we are on our way to getting our season back.
All right, let's move on. Liverpool they'll face West Ham in the midweek.
Okay.
For the games that were postponed 3.5 or 4 weeks ago. So talking about West Ham now, West Ham also, they had a slow start to the season. I mean, they won their last 2 league games back to back, which is first time this season, and they are 13th on the table. But West Ham also face Southampton this weekend. Southampton have been
not convincing.
Their usual self. What do you think about the game for Liverpool and coming off Man
the outcome of the match against Man City will give us like an insight on how we are going to play West Ham. I think West Ham's game is away, eh?
It's home.
It's
At home. It's Anfield.
It's Anfield, I mean. So there's a possibility we can actually get a point from them, because as much as West Ham have won their last 2 matches, they are not still convincing yet. They still have the frailties at the back.
Because even their game against Anderlecht yesterday was quite close. They won 2-1, but it's a typical David Moyes.
We know them as a very defensive and defensive team, but now they are still like having problems at the back. The match is going to it won't have much goals, but both teams will test themselves.
Ogbonna got injured yesterday.
Oh, okay. So
Ogbonna got injured yesterday.
I feel we will. I feel it's a match we can win. I feel it's a match we can win.
Ogbonna got injured. Craig Dawson came in, then he's got injured.
But that's Kamaka.
Yeah. So moving on, let's talk about Manchester United and Newcastle. Man U, they're coming off a 2-1 win against Everton. They also won 1-0 against Omonia Nicosia. Man U are 5th on the table, 15 points. And they face Spurs midweek. But let's just talk about this game against Newcastle, who are also 6th on the table, and just 1 point separates Man U and Newcastle. Newcastle have not lost any game aside the game they lost against Liverpool, which was a close game. Their last 2 games, they've scored 4 goals, 5 goals. They beat Fulham 4-1. They beat Brentford 5-1. With Ishak out, Shelby out, and they have Everton midweek. What do you think about the game for Man U?
Man U have been very unconvincing this season. Ten Hag really has a lot of work to do, and this match is against the Newcastle team in form. They have quality in their team as well, with Bruno in the form of his life right now. Bruno Guimaraes.
Maximan is back.
Yeah, Maximan is back as well. So I think it's going to be very tough for Man U. I don't see Man U winning this match, unfortunately, because I'm not just convinced by Manchester United. They've been very blunt in attack.
Keeping in mind that Man U have Spurs on Wednesday.
They've been very blunt in attack, and defensively they are still not very convincing as well. So it's still a work in progress, and this Newcastle team look like they are much more. They are like ahead of Man U. They are more in sync, and they are ahead in their progress.
For me, I think it's a thing of balance, and Newcastle have that balance in front, in the midfield. Their style of play, the players understand what the coach wants from them. Unlike Man U, where they didn't really buy smartly, they are still trying to figure out what they want to do. But also, I don't see Man U getting something out of this. I think at best it might end in a draw. If Man U should get something out of this, it will be like the full 3 points out of this. It will be a surprise for me, considering again that he has Spurs in the league. But the way I see it, the way Ten Hag has approached games after the first 2 losses this season, it has been of one game at a time. He has been, picking his 11 based on today, not because we have a game next week. So I think in a way that has been a smart move from his side, but I think his luck will run out because of the runs of games that we have this season. But yeah, let's move on and talk about Leeds and Arsenal. Leeds, they are so poor. They are winless from 5 games, 2 draws, 3 losses. They are 14th on the table with 9 points. And Arsenal, we all know what Arsenal have been doing this season. From 3-2 win against Liverpool on Sunday, and 3-1 win against Spurs the week before. They are first on the table, 24 points. So what do you think this game means to Jesse Marsh of Leeds? And
I think if Leeds should play on the counter, they have the ammunition to actually hurt Arsenal from the attacking point of view. But the problem is still their defense. And I think Sinistera is out. So if Sinistera was in now, I would have said, okay, they have a chance of actually. And we know Leeds and Jesse Marsh as a high pressing team. But the problem is, if you are high pressing and you are playing against Arsenal, who is also a high pressing team with much more metal to them. So at the end of the day, I just see the match going Arsenal's way. But Leeds will just try But if they play on the counter, they have a chance.
Ejebe, what do you think? Do you see it as an easy win for Arsenal?
I don't see it as an easy win because I think Arsenal this season they've been very lucky with the officiating. A lot of the officiating in Arsenal games have gone for them. Hopefully, this match won't be like that and there'll be fair officiating. But having said that, I don't see Leeds getting anything from this game.
All right, Leeds face Leicester in the midweek. Leicester they've also been poor so far, but just talking about the game for Leeds and Leicester, like in the midweek, how do you see both teams shaping up, and which team needs the 3 points the most? Leeds and Leicester.
Leicester obviously need 3 points more, but I'll tell you this right now: it's going to be a draw. I just know it's going to be a draw.
Yeah.